Colliculus, it is superior and inferior colliculus. And each colliculus gives brachium, that is, brachium of inferior colliculus. It goes to medial geniculate body, corpus geniculatum mediale. And together they are subcortical auditory center. Superior colliculus, it gives brachium and joint with lateral geniculate body, corpus geniculatum laterale, and they are subcortical visual center. Cavitas of midbrain, that is cerebral aqueduct, and this aqueduct join together fourth ventricle with third ventricle. Third ventricle, that is cavitas of diencephalon. Now, diencephalon. Diencephalon has two parts, thalamencephalon and hypothalamus. And thalamencephalon consists of thalamus, epithalamus, and metathalamus. Epithalamus, that is pineal gland, corpus pineale, or epiphysis, is produced melatonin, that is hormone of sleeping, and antigonadotropic hormone. And epiphysis or pineal gland joined with thalamus with the help of habenula, that is white matter, fibers of white matter, which join thalamus and pineal gland. And right and left habenula join together with the help of commissura habenularum. Metathalamus, they are medial and lateral geniculate bodies. I already said about them. They are metathalamus. And thalamus consists of posterior wide part, that is pulvinar of thalamus, and anterior narrow part, that is anterior tubical. And thalamus has egg shape, anteriorly tubical, posteriorly pulvinar. Below of thalamus, we have hypothalamus. And hypothalamus, this is hypothalamus, it consists of optic chiasma, then optic tract. Behind of optic chiasma, we have tuber cinereum, and from tuber cinereum start infundibulum, and infundibulum goes to hypophysis or pituitary gland. It is absent, should be here in this place, pituitary gland. Behind of tuber cinereum, we have mammillary bodies, right and left mammillary bodies. And behind of mammillary bodies, we have posterior perforated substance, substantia perforata posterior. Hypothalamus, it makes flow of the third ventricle. Third ventricle, that is space between left and right thalamus, and this cavitas has 6 walls. Lateral wall, that is medial surface of thalamus. Superior wall, first of all, that is telechoroidea. Above of telechoroidea, we can see fornix, and above of fornix, above that is a fornix, and above of fornix, we can see corpus callosum. These three structures, telechoroidea, fornix, and corpus callosum, makes roof of the third ventricle. I already said that hypothalamus makes inferior wall of the third ventricle, and here we can see two recessus. In front of optic chiasma we can see recessus opticus, and behind of optic chiasma, this one, recessus infundibuli, two recessus on inferior wall of the third ventricle. Now, posterior wall. Posterior wall has two commissura. One is commissura habenularum, another is commissura cerebri posterior. Between them, pineal recess, recessus pineale. This recess in space between commissura habenularum and commissura cerebri posterior, it goes in direction of pineal gland. And below of commissura cerebri posterior, we can see opening of cerebral aqueduct, aqueductus cerebri. And anterior wall. Anterior wall of the third ventricle, first of all, it forms with the help of columna fornicis. It is fornix, superiorly fornix, and anteriorly fornix continues into columna fornicis. And columna fornis is joined together with anterior commissura, that is commissura cerebri anterior, and below from it we can see lamina terminalis. And anterior wall has two openings. They are interventricular openings. Foramen interventricularia. This opening is between columna fornis and thalamus, and each opening goes to an anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. One opening goes to anterior wall, and another opening, the same, goes to anterior wall of lateral ventricles. That is why two openings, foramen interventricularia on anterior wall of the third ventricle. Now I want to draw a diagram. Give me a piece of paper or copy. Internal structure of the midbrain. Look here. That is midbrain, and now I will draw a diagram if we cut midbrain at the level of superior colliculus. That is why here and here, that is superior colliculus, and inside of midbrain, that is opening of cerebral aqueduct, aqueductus cerebri, and upper part of midbrain above of cerebral aqueduct, put here number 1, that is lamina tecti. Middle part of midbrain, that is tegmentum, and lower part or ventral, that is base of the peduncle of the brain, basis pedunculi cerebri. Number 2, tegmentum. Number 3, basis, base, basis pedunculi cerebri. And border between tegmentum and basis pedunculi cerebri, that is black substance, substantia nigra. Number 4, black substance, that is a border between tegmentum and basis pedunculi cerebri. Number 5, cerebral aqueduct, aqueductus cerebri. In lamina tecti, we have nuclei. That is diagram at the level of superior colliculus. That is why they are nuclei of superior colliculus. If we cut at the level of inferior colliculus, we will speak about nuclei of inferior colliculus. But now we discuss superior. And from this nuclei we have tractus tecta spinalis. And this tract makes decussation, decussatio dorsalis tegmenti. Number 6, nucleus of superior colliculus. Number 7, tractus tecta spinalis. Number 8, decussatio dorsalis tegmenti, dorsal decussation of tegmentum. Next nucleus in tegmentum, and it is largest nucleus of midbrain. Maybe you can answer what is the name of this nucleus. You already know name of this nucleus. It is nucleus ruber, red nucleus. Number 9, red nucleus. And from red nucleus, which tract do you know? Tractus ruber spinalis, number 10. And this tract makes ventral decussation of tegmentum. Number 11, decussatio ventralis tegmenti. Laterally from red nucleus, we have lemniscus medialis, and it is lemniscus lateralis. Lemniscus medialis consists of bulbothalamic tract and two spinothalamic, anterior and lateral. And lemniscus lateralis, that is auditory fibers, yes. And this lemniscus lateralis finished in inferior colliculus and in medial geniculate body. What else? Just a moment. What is last number? 11. Well, that is 12 lemniscus medialis, 13 lemniscus lateralis. Help me, what is it? Reticularis, number 14. Here and here. Longitudinalis medialis. And now, near of cerebral aqueduct in gray matter, we have nuclei of cranial nerves. At the level of superior colliculus, we have motor nucleus of the said nerve. It is 16, number 16, nucleus nervi oculomotorii, and number 17, nucleus accessorius, that is autonomic parasympathetic nucleus of the said cranial nerve, motor and autonomic nucleus accessorius. And said nerve leaves midbrain in ventral surface, that is fossa, I put here number 18, fossa interpeduncularis, and it is said cranial nerve, nervus oculomotorius. Look here, this yellow structure, that is said cranial nerve, and this nerve leaves midbrain in fossa interpeduncularis, medially from the peduncle, here. If we draw a diagram at the level of inferior colliculus, in this case, near of cerebral aqueduct, we will see only one motor nucleus, and it is nucleus of fourth cranial nerve, trochlear nerve, nucleus nervi trochlearis, and this is trochlear nerve. You can see it here. This is inferior colliculus, and in dorsal surface, fourth nerve, nervus trochlearis, leaves midbrain and goes laterally from peduncle. This is trochlear nerve. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
What else? This is pedunculate cerebri. And peduncle of the brain has descending tracts. Number 19. That is tractus frontopontinus. Start from frontal lobe and goes to nuclei pontis. Frontopontinus, number 19. 20. Tractus corticospinalis, both anterior and lateral. 21. Tractus corticonuclearis. And 22. Tractus accipita tempora pontinus. From occipital lobe, temporal lobe, the same from parietal lobe, and goes to nuclei pontis. They are tracts in peduncle of the brain. You will draw only this diagram, this one only for your understanding, and this diagram you need to draw next time. And another diagram, the same for your understanding, look here, that is thalamus, here and here. Egg shape, that is anterior tubical, posteriorly pulvinar. This is triangle trigonum habenula, and habenula, that is white matter, which start from thalamus and goes to pineal gland. This is pineal gland, corpus pineale, and right and left habenula joined together with the help of commissura habenularum. This is superior colliculus of midbrain. This is inferior colliculus. Inferior colliculus gives brachium, and this brachium goes to medial geniculate body, corpus geniculatum mediale. And superior colliculus the same, gives brachium, and it goes to corpus geniculatum laterale. This is third ventricle, ventriculus tertius, and anteriorly it makes with columna fornicis, this, and columna fornicis joined together with commissura cerebri anterior, and space between thalamus and columna fornicis, this and this. That is interventricular foramen, foramen interventriculare. This foramen opens into lateral ventricle. This is lateral ventricle, and here it is the same, lateral ventricle. That is two openings on anterior wall, and here it is below of commissura cerebri posterior, opening of cerebral aqueduct, and it joined together fourth and third ventricle, and this is cerebral aqueduct. Here it is canalis centralis, and in roof we have 3 openings where cerebrospinal fluid leaves ventricle and goes to subarachnoid space. Yes. What we can see in preparation. You should draw only this diagram, only midbrain. These classes, what you prepare today, help me. What is this? Fissura
median
median
anterior.
anterior. This and this pyramid. Here aliva and here. And between aliva and pyramid, sulcus
anterolaterales.
and this one sulcus posterolaterales. This is pons, sulcus basilaris. Here and here, that is medial peduncle of cerebellum. Look here, this one and this medial peduncle. Here and here inferior, this and this superior peduncle. Space between superior peduncles close with velum medullaris superior, that is anterior part of the roof of the fourth ventricle. This is rhomboid fossa, sulcus medianus posterior, eminence medialis, and this eminence has tubercle colliculus facialis. Lateral angle, this and this lateral angle, that is area vestibularis. It is colliculus gracilis, tuberculum gracilis, and tuberculum cuneatus, and between them sulcus intermedius posterius. That is midbrain. Here, that is tectum of the midbrain, and this is peduncle, pedunculi cerebri, here and here. Two peduncles, between them fossa interpeduncularis, and that is roof tectum of midbrain. It has quadrigeminal colliculus, upper and lower. Inferior colliculus gives brachium of inferior colliculus, and this is medial geniculate body, and brachium of superior colliculus goes to lateral geniculate body. Between superior colliculus we can see pineal gland, that is epiphysis, and pineal gland joined with thalamus with the help of habenula. This is right and this is left habenula, and right and left habenula joined together with the help of commissura habenularum. This is third ventricle between left and right thalamus, and this structure, white matter, that is fornix, above of fornix here corpus callosum, and below of fornix telecharaidea. And here it is clear to see interventricular foramen interventriculare between lateral ventricle and third ventricle. And here it is the same, foramen interventriculare. Hypothalamus consists of optic chiasma, optic tract, tuber cinereum with infundibulum and hypophysis, mammillary bodies, and posterior perforated substance, substantia perforata posterior. In this preparate, impossible to see third ventricle because this is fornix, here it is fornix, that is telecharaidea of lateral, that is lateral ventricle. Anterior horn, central part, posterior and inferior, that is lateral ventricle. And it is clear to see what, where is my stick? In foramen interventriculare, between lateral ventricle and third ventricle. And this white matter, that is fornix. And anteriorly fornix continues into columnar fornices.
Sorry.
No, it is not very clear to see here optic chiasma. This is mammillary bodies, corpora mammillaria. This is pedunculi cerebri, peduncle of the brain. Here we can see black substance, substantia nigra. It has black color on the border between tegmentum and basis pedunculi cerebri. That is arteria basilaris, arteria basilaris. It is cerebral aqueduct, aqueductus cerebri, this open. Your questions?
Do we need to know arteries?
Arteries, not now. After 2 classes, we will speak about arteries. After 2 classes.
Next class, are you going to ask on the preparation?
Yes, preparates, model, and diagram.
Oh.